Time to talk big picture now, Nick. The forest and wood products sector within Australia has recently undergone a branding exercise.
The ultimate renewable is the new industry catch cry, and while that might sound like a relatively simple idea, behind the scenes a heap of research and planning has been undertaken to make sure that that is the right message. Now, there is a television commercial. If you haven't seen it, here's a look.
When people think of renewables, they think of wind farms or solar panels, but they don't think of forests or building with wood. Responsibly sourced wood is not only renewable, but sustainable too. Because it stores carbon for life, absorbed from the atmosphere by growing trees. When wood is harvested today, it's replanted for tomorrow, and that's why wood is the ultimate renewable.
Now, what has standing in a butcher got to do with that wonderful commercial? It's because when you come here to buy your dinner, in this case, a beautiful juicy leg of lamb, you don't really want to think about where your meat has come from.
The fact is that your leg of lamb actually comes from one of these, a lamb. And you not wanting to know about that is called the slaughterhouse paradox. Not surprisingly, the same thing happens with wood and the trees that we all love. In timber and wood products, this is the slaughterhouse, the harvest operation and the inevitable aftermath.
It's confronting, and when you look at this, it's not an attractive sight. And that's the image that the environmental NGOs have actually used against forestry for the last 30 years. They've focused all their visual imagery on the slaughterhouse.
So this has been the face of forestry. The problem is it's only a small part of the story.
This is what was missing, actually. What was missing was that the consumer had no idea that trees were replanted. They were aware that forestry conducted logging, and that was it. There was no understanding that forestry actually replanted, and there was no communications in the media about the fact that whilst trees were cut down, they were also replanted. And so what we realised at a stroke was that people love trees, and there's nothing not to love about trees. They're just fantastic things. They are the embodiment of a hope and a future. And therefore they felt very sad when trees were cut down, and that's fine. There's almost a childish truth to that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's incredibly important that we get society to recognise that forestry is a cycle of life.
A broad-scale research project was undertaken to find out what people actually thought about the forest and wood products sector, what they knew, what they thought they knew, what they liked and what they didn't.
Now, we did 7 rounds of research, this co-creation, and in each round of co-creation, there was 3 or 4 or 5 different groups of either consumers or industry representatives at different places. We went to 5 different states across Australia, and each time, consistently, they didn't want forestry to be in place of plastics or the future of building materials. What they wanted forestry to be was this renewable product. And then when we asked people, well, how would you best describe it? The phrase that consistently got developed was the idea of forestry as the ultimate renewable.
Part of our tracking, wood is the ultimate renewable. It's sustainable, stores carbon, and has a wide range of applications. You can see that about over 70% of people agree totally, agree strongly, or agree slightly with that. We actually had this intensive research funded by a number of parties where everyone was suddenly all on the same page trying to talk about how do we actually better communicate not just the wood but the whole benefits of the forest and wood product sector and get a deeper understanding. And ultimately this leads to social licence, people acceptance and about how do we actually then expand the forest estate in Australia, which is going to be is our ongoing challenge.
The research showed that people are increasingly aware of the carbon positive nature of timber and wood products. The key to improving social licence is making sure they also understand the renewable story of the sector.
We believe that timber has a massive role in helping the fight against climate change. It's a lower carbon material, both in terms of its growth, because obviously it grows with the energy from the sun, and also it stores carbon, which is unique amongst building materials. Our vision is a city of the future which is made of timber buildings in a forest of trees.
It's a view shared by the federal government, who've come out in strong support of the new industry campaign.
It is the coming together of what is a great story about the ultimate renewable. There is no other building material that is renewable like timber. We have a great story to tell about the innovative ways in which we are using timber, and the campaign so far has had a massive impact on adjusting people's perceptions towards the use of this material.
The exciting part about all this research and the new campaign is that it covers the entire industry as a whole.
From the people who plant and grow the trees, from the people who harvest and haul the trees, from the people who finish and ultimately sell the timber. At each stage along the supply chain, we're celebrating the ultimate renewable. Plenty of companies have already jumped at the opportunity of promoting the ultimate renewable brand. Australian Sustainable Hardwoods is one.
It was a no-brainer for Ash to get involved with the ultimate renewable because timber stores carbon for life. Even as a finished product, carbon is being stored, and then it is regrown and replanted and more carbon is stored. This is the most sustainable building material available.
The ultimate renewable covers imported products as well as homegrown.
We've been going for 35 years this year. We specialise in importing and distributing timber to all facets of the timber industry. We feel that it's a very good opportunity for the industry collectively to get together and promote the fact that our timber is sustainable, it's legal, and the industry does care about the perception that people have of the product.
The ultimate renewable is a really simple message, and it's a simple message to communicate and for people to understand. It's saying that the resource is renewable, and the ultimate part of it is saying that it is probably, if not the most renewable resource that's available.
If your business is in forest and wood products, the ultimate renewable branding is designed to be easily integrated into existing marketing material. It's free to use and helps spread the word.
The ultimate renewable we've got as a registered brand. People can have within the industry who support this messaging have access to it free. They have to go to the FWPA website and register to use that, and that will give them access to the materials. We also have a supporting website, the Ultimate Renewable, where we have actually an online merchandising store where people can actually take the branding and co-brand it with their own company logo and hopefully get the message out that way.